And we are a go. All right, welcome to the Weirdo Watchlist Podcast, the podcast that's slightly off, based on the Weirdo Watchlist created by Tyler on Letterboxd. Where each episode we watch a random movie from the list and discuss. But first, Mr. Fashion, how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. We watched a couple movies before we watched our pick for the episode. I know last episode we decided on discussing the new Scorsese movie, Killers of the Flower Moon, and
yes,
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Did you watch it?
I watched both of them. Yes.
Didn't watch Five Nights at Freddy's.
I mean that's fine. I can go into it.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please. But first, I mean, Killers of the Flower Moon. I did see that. You saw that?
Yep.
It took me 2 showings. I don't know if I said that, but I had to go. I had to go to work, and I was late for the one showing. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta go, and then like leave 2 hours in. So I broke it up into 2 showings, and that was all right.
You said you were gonna do that last episode too, because it was so long.
Yeah, and it was all right. It worked out.
What did you think?
I think the first half, I mean, it's all very good. It's all very, very good. But the first half without the second half, not a whole lot. Like, it's fine. You know what I mean? But it's a long-ass movie. It's hard to get into that. But very, very well made. It's 3.5 hours of very well-made movie.
Yeah.
I hate almost every character in it because you're supposed to, kind of.
They're not good. No good.
They're not good people.
Except Lily Gladstone, she's good.
She's pretty good.
But that Leo guy and that Bobby De Niro, no good.
Spanking. There was a
spanking scene that nobody seemed to really want to talk about online. For some reason, nobody brought it up.
That's all I want to talk about.
Yeah.
Put them in the room and spank them.
Big old
I did
spanking.
see one. What was the one? It was somebody who said they watched the scene, and in the next theater over, Taylor Swift's fucking Eras tour thing was going off, so you could hear "Look What You Made Me Do" in the background while Leonardo is getting spanked. I saw that in a review. I thought that was funny. No, but it was a great movie. You liked it?
I liked it a lot. Not the best movie of the year, but the second best for sure. I think. I'd love to catch it again, but again, it's such a long movie.
What's your top movie of the year?
Oppenheimer.
Yeah, this is long movies.
I'm one of the sheeple who've got Oppenheimer's number 1.
That's all right. You know,
I mean,
it's fine.
A good fucking movie anyway.
It's a great movie. Killers of the Flower Moon is great.
Yeah,
it's really great.
No, I thought it was
great. It doesn't waste a lot of time for its runtime. It's well paced. Like there's never like a really down time.
Yeah, I couldn't find a good time to go to the bathroom. I just had to like force myself to leave because I had some like weird sushi before going to see it, and it was like bubbling up in my stomach. It was gurgling, and every gurgle was like pushing into my bladder.
Oh no!
So just making it feel worse. So I just said like, "Fuck it, I gotta go." Thankfully, my fiance was still there, so she told me like what happened. Of course, it was something important. You know, that was the scene when the Klan showed up for a parade. After Bobby De Niro was like, "Nah, I don't fucks with those guys," and then holy shit, he fucks with them. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
But
the whole very normal like parade. They're like, "Hey, what's up? We're just that group." They're like, "All right,
we're the Klan. It's the 20s." And Leo's performance, not my favorite Leo performance. It feels like, he's definitely the most acting in the bunch. He's like putting in the most effort, but it's obvious he's putting in the most effort.
Yeah.
It feels like I think he works best under a Tarantino script or a script where his character is as loud. Like Wolf of Wall Street, I think, is a great example of what Leo's good and best at.
Yeah.
Just being so like vocally open and out there. And
this little simple ass character.
Yeah.
Not so much.
There's like some of those quieter moments where he is just being, a dull idiot, because that's what the character he's based off. He wasn't just an idiot,
Yeah.
Couldn't really think for himself. Just took orders with a straight face.
Real love that money, sir.
I do love that money, and Scorsese, please don't. Please bring me into a movie, but also don't. I'm terrible. Can you find the wolves in this picture? A lot of people were also freaking out and splitting part in the Red Sea about Brendan Fraser's performance. His
I thought
3
that
minutes.
too.
Yeah, lot of talk going about it. A lot of people not knowing what to take of it, and I thought he was great because he's just big, he's loud. Scorsese said it himself recently. He's got that girth. And I think he sells the scene really well as just being the loud attorney that's just taking all the attention away from what's actually supposed to be happening.
Yeah, I feel like the big discourse was that first line where he comes in, like
my client.
Yeah, he's just it's over the top, and I don't think it's his performance. I think it's just doesn't that have that scene kind of just it glosses into the fucking courtroom and then that happens it's just
just erupts and it starts.
It's very sudden. You're like, oh wow, okay, he's just yelling now. He's just yelling like a southern.
He's just trying to cause a scene. He's causing a scene.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah,
I mean,
certainly one of the most memorable parts of the movie for how little he was in it. Even after the courthouse when he's talking to Leo, it feels like he's got power over fucking Leonardo DiCaprio in that moment.
Yeah, I really like the last half of this movie quite a bit more, especially with the addition of him, the addition of I never remember his name, but
Jesse Plemons.
Yes, there it is.
My Lord and Savior.
Yeah, he rocks. So when that tension started building, I think it really solidified it.
What's crazy too, the book the movie's based on is just the FBI showing up and trying to figure this out. So the whole hour and a half, 2 hours before Jesse Plemons even shows up is just not in the book.
Right.
So
it's just good ass exposition and character building.
A lot of talk too about the fact that the movie could have been shown through the Osage point of view, which that certainly I think would have benefited too. I think would have been weird if an Italian white man like Martin Scorsese pulled that card himself. I feel like he's best at showing just how fucking awful white people are.
Right.
I feel like he does it best when he is just showing it through the eyes of the worst people.
Yeah, and it's maybe it's just weird for people that Leonardo is the main character, but he's the bad guy sort. I mean,
it doesn't sugarcoat it.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
It doesn't
you could
paint
simple
him.
And
it doesn't paint him as a guy you can think is good by mistake. Even with a lot of other Scorsese characters, Wolf of Wall Street. A lot of people think Jordan Belfort was a pretty good guy because of how awesome he looks in the movie, but he was a scumbag. He's a fucking Wall Street piece of shit. Same with Travis Bickle in Taxi Driver. A lot of people relate to that guy, but shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm more of a Joker guy myself.
Dude, he's just like me, for real, Patrick Bateman.
For real. Oh, man. American Psycho. I saw American Beauty for the first time.
Yeah? How was that?
I did. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. I've been putting it off because Kevin Spacey's in it. But I know that's doing it a little disservice because I hear it's still a rockin' movie.
It still holds up. It still holds up for sure. It is a little weird because he's kind of being a pedophile in it, sort of.
Is he? Is he?
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole the main thing is he's obsessed with his daughter's friend, who's an 18-year-old high schooler, and he wakes up, he sees her dancing and cheerleading, and he wakes up from his mundane life. And he goes, you know what? I don't fucking care about my job. No, I'm just unhappy. It's I want to fuck that 18-year-old. I'm just gonna do what I want, and that's a little weird. But if you can get over that it's Kevin Spacey doing that on screen, fantastic movie.
You know, life imitating art at that point. Weird.
Yeah, right. So definitely worth a watch. American Beauty, the sequel to American Psycho.
Keeping it beautiful. I watched The Beautiful Mind last night, first time.
Oh yeah,
that was good. Yeah, it was my fiance's recommendation. She I think she teacher her like psych teacher made her watch it during like college, I think.
Yeah.
And she's super into the movie. And yeah, I thought I'd give it a watch last night. I just wanted to watch something, and it was either that or Megamind, and I chose the one I hadn't seen before.
Oh, Megamind is very good.
I do have to pick up Megamind at some point again.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, American Beauty was pretty good. It's definitely the most textbook Ron Howard can get, because it's, you know, just classic Oscar cheese. Very Ron Howard.
Oh, Beautiful Mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just textbook Oscar cheese. Very safe, very easily digestible, not too challenging. Very crowd-pleasing kind of movie, and that's, you know, Ron Howard style.
Vision shows up.
Vision's in there too.
From the Marvel series, WandaVision.
WandaVision, oh my god.
Yeah, this is part of the MCU.
And Zeus from that Thor movie, oh my god.
Whoa. Everybody's in the MCU now.
Oh my god, MCU brain rot filtering into the podcast, everybody. My worst nightmare.
A Beautiful Mind. MCU.
But Beautiful Mind, yeah, really good fucking movie, I think.
For real.
Yeah, I don't know if it was the best picture of 2001. Freddy Got Fingered was still, I think, a lot better.
It really was good. I tell you that I watched that in the hospital when I got my appendix removed at 16. I was hopped up on drugs, and my mom was in the room, and they wheeled a TV in there for me, because that's the year it was, you know, it was 2008 or whatever. They wheeled the TV in there, and they had Freddy Got Fingered for some reason. So, we had it. I don't know. I guess I don't know how the fuck it was there.
Somehow Freddy Got Fingered got into another hospital.
And basically, this is the first time I've really been high. You know, I'm like actually on like real like high dose drugs, and I'm watching Freddy Got Fingered, and that's quite the experience. Wow, loved it.
Yeah, I know. I think that's a movie that will like fuck you up if you're like high, because that movie is just insane. I think it's in the
bits and pieces from that. I've seen it since, but yeah, weird.
I'm gonna spell the title wrong again. I always spell it I-E instead of just Y. Is it? I think it's in the list. In the watch list. Yeah, it is. It's in the Weirdo Watch List, so we might get to talk further about it. That's exciting news.
I could rewatch that, yeah.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Refocusing your camera.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, dude, I fucked up, by the way. Right? I did the unthinkable, and I ended up watching Exorcist Believer, like I said that I wouldn't.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah.
From you know, a sequel to The Exorcist standpoint to just being a movie standpoint, none of it works. It's really one of the biggest turds of the year. There's a few movies that just edge out being worse, because they're just fundamentally, you know, just terrible. You know, like that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, that's just worse because a whole slew of reasons.
Yeah, it's the same. It just doesn't have money behind it.
Yeah, but no, Exorcist Believer.
So bland. So, like, I know I haven't seen it, so I really shouldn't say, but, like, I understand what it is.
Yeah, you don't need
how do these big studios do this so easily? It's like amazing how it gets to final production and is this poor. You know,
I don't know how they do it. It's just kind of insane how movies like that get made. But I do want to talk a little bit about Freddy Got Fingered also, right? Because that came out, and I saw it. You didn't. That was the homework assignment. You failed. But
I thought you were talking about Freddy Got Fingered.
What did I say? Did I say Five Nights at Freddy's?
No, you said Freddy Got Fingered.
Oh shit!
I think. My brain's still on that.
Dude, I don't know. Too many Freddys.
So wait, what happened in this PG-13? Wait, is it PG or PG-13?
Freddy Got Fingered is very rated R, but Five Nights at Freddy's is PG-13.
Is it? Okay. How was it?
It was really good. You know what? I'm gonna fucking be that asshole. I do want to keep talking about Killers of the Flower Moon instead. And then I'll jump back to Five Nights at Freddy's. Okay. This is terrible because, I don't edit the podcast. So it's just all over the fucking place. But
all right, everybody jump back to Killers of the Flower Moon.
I'm going into the very ending of the movie, the spoilers, the way the movie wraps up. Right?
Okay, yes.
Because I think it's probably the best fucking ending of the year. Hands down.
Oh, you mean with the crime show podcast?
Yeah, with the crime show podcast.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the radio show. Yeah. No, that was
so cool.
Yeah, so the movie, like, the way the movie wraps up, Robert De Niro gets sent to jail, Leonardo DiCaprio's still on trial, and Lily Gladstone gets one last chance to hear things out with DiCaprio. And the whole movie, DiCaprio's been, like, poisoning her slowly with insulin and funny stuff he's putting in the insulin. Because, he wants the money. He wants the money. So does his uncle, De Niro. And eventually, like, Lily Gladstone goes to, like, a real hospital and actually gets better and isn't just fucking sick and deteriorating the back half of the movie. So she begs the question to Leo, what'd you do to the insulin? What did you put in the insulin? Did you fuck me up by putting shit in the insulin? And he just said no. Real stupidly, too, just like, no, I didn't. I didn't do nothing. And she just gets up and leaves, and it cuts to black. And that's fantastic in itself, because, she's smart enough to know that, he's a lying piece of shit, and is willing to hurt her for her money, and especially, like, her people, too. But then we open to, like, a stage production of, like a radio podcast, an old-timey radio show podcast, where they're like, it's basically the epilogue. They're telling us, like, a lot of biopics will just, like, throw up text onto the screen that just says, like, this is what happened to this character, blah, 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 this is what happened, this is what happened to this character, blah, blah, blah. And, it's kind of, like, fine. It's fine if you do that in a movie, but it's also very just, like, not lazy, but it's done a lot, especially in biopics. Yeah. Like, every sports biopic ends that way. Mm-hmm. Fucking this year, like, Air, BlackBerry, tons of other, like, of those, like, corporate biopics did that. Or just text on the screen. But here, Scorsese chose to do a radio show describing the end of the movie with, like, people got, like, drums, they got a big jail cell door that they're swinging back and forth to describe Robert De Niro getting sent to jail. And it really just hits you that, like, this huge, big, sprawling story, right, about, like, one of the worst American genocides committed, not even that long ago, is just being reduced to podcast entertainment, and then there are plenty of other people who, like, can, like, pick this apart differently, but the way I took it is just, like, how these like, devastating events do just often get reduced to entertainment at the end of it, like, with the cute sound effects, with the drums, the voice acting, and everything, and the production value behind it. And what drives the fucking nail into the coffin even more, what it really fucking hammers it home, is Martin Scorsese shows up himself to describe what happened to Lily Gladstone's character. And reads, like, the eulogy that was in the newspaper when she died, and and he says, like, she died at this age because of her diabetes, and there was no mention of the genocide, no mention of the murders. And then that's when it cuts to the last remaining Osage people in a huge circle, doing a dance, doing one of their dances, and then
cool shot.
yeah, that huge like drone shot of just like what's left of their people, and like once Scorsese showed up, I just like fucking goosebumps. I just like sunk in my chair a little bit because it felt to me like he was saying like as terrible as it is, like that this is what happens. Even a story that I care so deeply about, I am also taking part of and just providing it as this sort of entertainment. Even if it's not fun, you know, it's not fun. It's not, you know, a Marvel movie level of entertainment. I'm not helping with this podcast problem.
True.
That's kind of the way I took it. Because, you know, at the end of the day, yeah, it is just a big, you know, piece of it's you know, a film. It's filmmaking talking about a huge fucking tragedy that really happened and really took place. And Scorsese's like, yeah, I'm part of the problem. A little bit. As much as I do care and I am taking the time to do this justice, here I am presenting it as, you know, on stage for your enjoyment.
I'm enjoying this, Scorsese. Thanks for showing up, buddy.
Yeah. You know, cute old Grandpa Scorsese.
He is kind of cute for an old man.
Yeah.
Got that old man charm a little bit. How does he make movies, especially this detailed and like this big? You know what I mean?
You know, people call him an old timer for a reason. You know.
Well,
he's been doing this for a long ass time, and he's always been pretty good at it.
Yes.
But yeah, that's the end of my Killers of the Flower Moon bit. Not my favorite Scorsese. I haven't seen all of Scorsese's movies. I think Wolf of Wall Street's still my favorite, but I think I also watched that at like the perfect age, you know, like.
Yeah,
like,
right when you were getting into Wall Street.
Yeah, right when I wanted to become a stockbroker.
Yeah, that's that good little bit of your life.
And again, I'm excited to see what he does next. I know he wants to keep pumping out movies despite his age. I know he wants.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought he said this was his last one.
He might try. You know, like with his age, you know, he knows he doesn't have too much left in him, but he doesn't want to stop.
I literally thought he like announced that. He says, but that was a while. I thought I could be very wrong.
Yeah, he might have announced that he's got a new project in the works, but I don't think anything's like officially been announced regarding a new movie or a retirement plan. But he says he's built different compared to like Tarantino, who's like, next movie is Tarantino's last, one and done.
Which one is his next movie?
He's doing The Critic, about some Hollywood critic in the 70s, another Hollywood period piece, which got me invested, you know. I'll suck down a new Tarantino picture any day.
I feel like a lot of those Hollywood period pieces are blending together. Babylon and
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
And the other ones, a lot of them. I don't know. Maybe there's not that many. I've seen probably 3, and I'm like, that's enough.
That's too many of them.
Oh, fucking... It's Soho.
Last Night in Soho?
Yeah.
That's British.
Yeah, it's a little different, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. That's
different.
the British people.
Fuck them.
Fuck the British. Anyway, Five Nights at Freddy's. Now I can talk about that comfortably.
Yeah, it's now real cinema.
It's not good by any means, but I'm also unfortunately looked at it through the eyes of a gamer who knows the lore, so I couldn't think of it like critically as a movie.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate.
And you liked it though.
I thought it was fine, you know.
Yeah.
I
haven't heard anything bad about it.
Yeah, it's not one I'm willing to revisit at any point.
Yeah.
But Matthew Lillard, for his, you know, he should have been in the movie a lot more. There are a lot of things they should have done a lot different to make it feel more like a cohesive movie. But there are a few moments that are just insane. I mean, I think I can comfortably talk about spoilers for the movie. I'm gonna talk about like just not like heavy details, but like shit that happens, right? I mean, if you're a FNAF fan and you want to watch it, you've already fucking seen it. But if you're, like friend of the show, Vince, and haven't seen it, that's your own fault. Movies
Vince,
free.
don't see it. There's better stuff.
I mean, yeah, there's better stuff. But one thing that happened is a couple of burglars break into Freddy's during the day. Believe it or not even at night. And the animatronics go fucking hog wild on him. You watch a woman get halved. She got bite of 87. Just like she got fucking like pulled into the animatronic and it chomped her in half, and you just see the shadow of her lower half just fall off.
Hey,
that was kind of insane. I didn't fucking expect that. And then
hell yeah,
they established like the Springtrap suits, right? If you fucking played the games, you know what I'm talking about. But it's basically like a fucking mechanism that like locks in place, but if you touch it wrong, it snaps shut. Which very sketchy to begin with, especially because like these spring locks are so tightly wound that when they snap back into place, they'll fuck you up. So they established that early, and I'm like, cool, I get to see some dude get fucking spring trapped. And sure enough, Matthew Lillard, he's in the suit, and the cupcake from the poster bites a hole into his suit, so we see the spring traps. And when they activate, we see the spring traps just dig into his fucking ribcage like a saw trap.
Oh, no.
Like a PG-13 saw trap. That was kind of nuts.
Damn.
But there is a lot that happens in the movie that does just hinge on you knowing what the games are. Like, my fucking parents went to see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. They've never heard of it. I think they just wanted to get out of the house.
Hell yeah.
Which, I mean, fair enough. I mean, that's why my fiance and I went and saw Exorcist Believer. We just wanted to get out, But yeah, they saw the movie. I haven't even talked to them about it. I think I'm just gonna save that for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you gotta send them the podcast first.
I don't want them to watch this. They're gonna be they're gonna hear my potty mouth. No way.
Goodness. Yeah, I can't have that.
Can't have that.
Not be having that.
Hear me like spin like jerk off like Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro. I can't have that.
Say jerk off.
And jerk off? I'm gonna jerk off? What? Sorry, Mom and Dad. Didn't want you to hear that.
This ain't your mom and dad's fucking podcast.
We swear on here.
Yeah, jerk off.
Talk about movies.
Yeah.
All at the same time.
You know what is a movie I saw, actually?
Yeah.
What Happens Later? Did you see what that is?
Is that a new one?
There's a new rom-com featuring Meg Ryan of 90s rom-com fame, Harry Met Sally, Sleepless in Seattle,
Harry Met Sally, watch that. That's a great fucking movie.
Great movie. So Meg Ryan is back, is making her own rom-com, and it has David Duchovny of X-Files fame, and so 50-plus-year-old people being all cute, see in an airport. They meet up after years after not dating or whatever. Very, very like Hallmark movie, basic ass shit, and it was not good. It stuck no landings really. And my mom was like, she looked like she was personally offended that Meg Ryan fell off so hard, like because Meg Ryan was just really cringy in it. Like I think maybe it was the dialogue, I don't know, but didn't have that charm. It sucked. I don't need to talk about it too much further. So just don't go see it if you're planning on it.
I mean, yeah, it's got pretty middling reviews. I'm looking at 2.6.
Yeah.
On here, on the old Letterboxd. I'm not gonna bother looking it up on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Just because I know it'll be a pleasant audience score on that one.
Yeah, it's an easy. It's so Hallmark Channel. I said that my mom and my stepdad both were like, it's worse than like a Hallmark movie. It's a bad Hallmark movie. I'm like, yes.
Sure, I haven't seen any of those Hallmark movies, but they all look the same. They all got the white couples wearing the Christmas-colored sweaters.
Yeah. You're back in town, Michael? I haven't seen you. You look so good.
I thought you were
really
talking,
need to get together.
I thought you were talking about me.
I am.
What?
Yeah, we should get together. You look so good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Five Nights at Freddy's. Should I go see it? I know we kind of moved away from that, but should I go see it? Would you recommend, if I haven't played the games at all, and I don't mind PG-13 horror, you think it's even worth a watch, or you think I should?
It feels too long. It's an hour and 50 minutes. 20 of those should be gone.
Yeah.
I don't know what 20 you'd take out, but I think it's it's fine. I don't care about it too much. There's some stuff I like. The animatronics look good, but if you've got no investment in the games, there's no reason for you to see it. It's very pleasing if you're a fucking nerd and a FNAF fan and you're 9 years old. But that's all I got to say about FNAF.
Good. Put it to bed.
Put it to bed.
I saw Anatomy of a Fall. Have you seen that yet?
I haven't yet because that's not. It is showing actually nearby, but I haven't gotten the time to see it.
It's in such random theaters. Like, so I'm AMC A+, so I try to see which ones, are playing. And there's like movies in specific theaters that won't play at other ones. I don't know. Anatomy of a Fall was only playing in Rosedale, so I went there and saw it. And yeah, it's good. It's good, like everyone
it's at
said.
the Southdale Theater. It's at the Draft House. I can go to any of these.
Yeah,
they're just not in my immediate area. That's why I haven't seen it. But
yeah,
I've heard like top shit about it. Like,
yeah, it's like a good. I mean, a little bit slow and I don't know, but it turns into like almost like a courtroom drama, and it becomes. It's like a couple's relationship on trial more than actually a person. It feels like so. Very cool.
Hell yeah.
Dissection of a broken family a little bit. I don't know. Love it.
Nice.
Yeah. I've seen so much actually in the last like 2 weeks. Hobo with a Shotgun. I liked that a lot. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, that one was a good one. What else did I watch? I watched American Beauty. I said that. I watched Alice, but we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Yeah, we can talk about that now. I mean, we're at 32 minutes.
Are we? Oh my goodness. Well, freaking, I did watch Alice. That's something I watched. I'm about to tell you what I thought about that. But first, I want to hear what you thought about that.
Oh, you son of a bitch! I was gonna do that to you. I was gonna make you start. Anyway, so Alice, that's the pick this week or this episode.
It is the Weirdo Watchlist Alice. What year is this actually?
1988.
1988.
Yeah.
Wow.
1988, 86 minutes. Again on YouTube. So, a Czechoslovakian movie that is just Alice in Wonderland. That is it. It's just a Czechoslovakian Alice in Wonderland. A lot of stop motion, a lot of freaky looking shit. Not in a bad way, but like if you see this at like you're too young, it'll fuck you up a little bit. It's got some weird shit.
Is this your version of Alice as a kid? Then yeah.
Yeah, if you're able to sit down and read subtitles at the age of 5, something's up. Something's going on with you.
Well, to be fair, I was actually afraid of Alice in Wonderland, the cartoon, like the Disney one, when I was young, because it's still freaky. Not like this freaky, obviously, but it's a freaky concept. It's like a weird nightmare scenario, which obviously this one nails a little bit, really hard, a lot harder.
Yeah.
It's on a cartoon from Disney. This is I don't know what this is.
Yeah, it's certainly. I mean, the tagline, the movie opens, with Alice as the narrator, like a film made for children, perhaps, ? So even the filmmakers know, like, this might be a little too fucked up with some of the stop motion shit we're doing. But, I mean, in no way is it, like, graphic. It's just the stop motion puppets they made just look too freaky for any sort of kids movie. They're all like...
So he's fucking eating his own innards a little bit.
Bug-eyed, they're all made of sawdust.
Like a
lot of
nightmare.
Like, broken porcelain, Soviet block type aesthetic. And, for me, I liked it. There's nothing I can say negative about it. It's Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
It's just simple enough. You're watching it for the freaky art direction it takes.
Yeah, I loved being in it. I mean, there's a couple parts that were like they felt long in the tooth, and maybe it's because I was a little bit tired, but like the nightmare feeling of like repetitive shit that doesn't even make sense, but it's happening. So like the tea party scene with the Mad Hatter and the March Hare, and he kept going, I want a clean cup, and then they would switch things, and then they did it again and again and again, and it was like a fucking nightmare. And I'm like, Jesus Christ!
Like, reset the rabbit because he's fucking dead.
Yeah, fucking take the eye back. Yeah, I really liked the vibe of this movie and how it was just like a nightmare, and like her reactions to everything were like very like, this is a nightmare, like this is how you react when you're in a nightmare, like you're not super scared, you just are there experiencing it, you know. And this kid is just like, oh man,
she's just there, she's just scared. In it.
And she's tears filling up the thing with, oh man.
See, when that happened, there's not a lot I remember about Alice in Wonderland. I haven't seen the Tim Burton one since theaters. I haven't seen the cartoon one since I was like 6. So there's not a lot. I remember like the important bits, the cat, the caterpillar, Mad Hatter, of course, and the Queen of Hearts, off with the heads. Yep. But the crying bit, I totally forgot about. So when she starts crying, I thought they just did a shitty job trying to make it look like she's been crying by just blasting her with a fucking hose. And then the room starts filling up. I'm like, what the fuck is happening? She's just like drowning herself almost. It was kind of insane. And I do also want to talk about like the caterpillar scene, because that was also nuts. What happened there? Like a bunch of sock puppets start like digging holes and then just worming their way around. She's got to navigate that. And then another sock just comes to life with eyeballs, gives itself eyeballs, cuts itself open a mouth. And then it's like, I'm a caterpillar. It's like, bitch, you are not. You are some dirty sock. Get away from me.
Oh, man. Then when it went to sleep, it sewed its own eyes closed.
It sewed its eyes shut. I was like...
I loved that.
Christ.
I loved that.
It certainly got, probably the craziest vibes, I think, of any Alice in Wonderland movie.
I mean, is this like a pretty much like spot on to what the book is? That's the vibe I'm getting. I haven't read the book.
I don't know how to read.
But like, yeah, perfect. Me neither. That's why we watch movies. But like, if this is what the book is like, it's just like a fucking just kind of nightmare and not make sense. Like, this nailed it probably. But man, it put me in a vibe, and it put me in a world. It reminded me a little bit of Eraserhead, in the fact that you're in this like world outside of reality where it's just like, it's not real, and it's probably like a nightmare, but like you're there and you're accepting all of what this reality is, and it's just repetitive and weird and dark and scary a little bit.
Yeah.
And you just have to experience it for an hour and 20 some minutes.
Yeah, it's a quick in and out. And it's just a lot of like insane creative like puppet work that's going on. A lot of, like, the stop motion, the art direction around it too, with like the Queen of Hearts and her whole court are just playing cards,
Yeah.
She wants them to cut their heads off. The White Rabbit just takes a pair of scissors, chops them up, and then they still fight, flopping around.
I loved when the rabbit first came to life in the taxidermy thing, and it ripped its like hands out of like the board when the nails were in there, and just bit the nails off, spit them out. I'm like, that's so badass.
Yeah. And what I love too, it's like the way the movie like bookends itself almost. She like looks back at the taxidermy cage.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I ain't fucking around with this.
And she like opened the drawer and there was the scissors in there.
Yeah. I think she like took the scissors away.
was the very last line in the movie was like, she's like, "Oh, he's late. I'm gonna cut his head off." Or something like, I'll have his head for this. And I don't even remember who she's talking about. Maybe the rabbit?
I'm pretty sure it's the rabbit.
I don't know who she's talking about, but it's like back in reality.
Yeah.
Maybe she was just a fucking psycho the entire time. That's what I think. I think this is a nightmare from a person who's fucking psycho.
I mean, this is like the It Was All a Dream movie, right? There's like the quintessential. It was a dream, you know.
Yes, I think so. Alice in Wonderland, yes.
None of it was real, but maybe it was. You know, I think each adaptation has like a little hint that it could have happened.
Yeah.
But maybe it didn't. And yeah, she is just a psychopath.
She's a psychopath. She grows up to be a fucking psycho killer. Maybe, probably.
Maybe. I don't know. We don't see much of her. I did like the way, you know, like they show her like getting small. Yeah. Which was fun because they don't fuck around with just like trying to figure out like proportions for like a big funny looking set. Instead, they just make her a porcelain doll that also is just as terrifying as the other puppets.
Yeah. And that one time where she like kind of went halfway and she was like in the porcelain, and like you see her eyeball coming through, and they were like dragging her. Wow.
It's like, uh-oh.
Freaky.
And she meets God, what the fuck was even happening in this scene where she meets like the fish messenger, where it's just like a fucking like pike's head. Yeah. And it's just like walking around all hunched over and meets a frog that's just like staring, mouth agape. It's not even like a frog they found. They just made that. Yeah. Like half the shit
like
their
puppy crying.
Yeah.
In there, but then every time you see it, it's a pig.
And the fucking white hair's in there too, just throwing cups at Alice.
Yeah.
It's kind of an insane movie.
It is really insane.
You know, for as simple as it is just being Alice in Wonderland.
When she went into the house of, I don't know whose house it was, but then she was like stuck in there. They were all trying to get in, and they sent like a crocodile thing into the chimney, and she fucking
she like kicked it back up the chimney and it like just
it like exploded with all sawdust out of its thing.
Yeah, she fucking killed it.
Man. That was sick.
It was insane.
That was a good part. Also, no music in the whole movie. Maybe the beginning or something, if I can remember right. But I was just like, damn, this is very awkward with no music.
It's, you know, I mean, yeah, kind of like a
lot of Foley work because it's all stop motion. Like
she's like narrating the whole movie.
Yeah, she keeps cutting to her like mouth. Said the White Rabbit.
Yeah. You know, every time she's like, yeah, she's just doing that the whole time, you know, like, you get off my lawn, said the Mad Hatter, you know? It's almost like the fucking Wes Anderson shorts we watched last episode.
Yeah, for real. You know, I like that. I can't believe it's as long as it is. Like it had a vision and it stuck very, very to it. It probably took a long ass time and like a lot of fucking energy to make. I mean, like that's a lot of stop motion.
Stop motion doesn't fuck around like that.
It doesn't, and there's so much like pretty intricate, a lot of stuff going on in here. I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Didn't really let up, and they didn't have too much just filler bullshit, really.
No, I mean, again, I haven't read the original book, so I don't know, like.
Oh, right. Sure, right.
Yeah, what happens, you know, like scene to scene, but it definitely like picks up all the right, like, all the important notes that you do remember about Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
And just puts you in this weird fucking, like, nightmare world. Where you don't know what's gonna happen next. You don't know why everyone's mad at you. You know, the White Rabbit's just like fucking around, just like, I'm gonna kill you if you keep following me. And then when she's a little porcelain doll, like, where the fuck are my scissors? Get the scissors, or I'm gonna be late.
I loved it. I mean, do I want to watch it over and over again? No. Do I think it was fun to watch because it's really interesting how they fucking did it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I think I've seen it 1.5 times technically now. I think that's the first time I watched it. I got to the part where I think like she started crying, which was like halfway, maybe. No, it was a little farther than that. Either way, I got maybe halfway through it the first time because it's odd.
It's I mean, I mean, in my Letterboxd review, I did say it just like reeks of Soviet Block, which I think is the best way you can like describe the aesthetic, because everything is just so like, just like dilapidated, you know, in a way that like post-Soviet Union Europe was, you know, like Eastern Bloc. It's like concrete's all chipped, porcelain dolls are everywhere. Yeah. Shit's just fucking weird, kind of like freaky to look at. And I think that works to its benefit. I mean, certainly a movie that I think belongs on the watch list, belongs on the Weirdo Watchlist.
I think absolutely it does.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like any Alice in Wonderland movie could. But
that's true.
Except for like the Tim Burton.
Maybe the weirdest one.
Certainly the weirdest one.
Or the weirdest one I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wonder how many kids have watched this as like their main Alice in Wonderland.
It'd be funny to like comb through the reviews. Oh, here we go. The third most popular review. When you pick this for family movie night, and don't get to pick for family movie night anymore. I think that says plenty about the general vibes about it.
It is generally a vibe, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And it brought me in. It got me invested in the nightmare. It did that as much as it could. As much. I mean, it really. I watched Eraserhead so recently.
It's a good fucking movie.
That's why I'm gonna compare it to it again. But like, you just live in this world, and it's just like, it feels so fleshed out for being how minimalist the world is. I mean, it feels like a fucking just. I don't know. It feels lived in, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I give it a 3.5 out of 10. I mean 5. That changes the rating quite a bit.
Yeah, you're saying all these praises, you love it, and then 3.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a D- at best.
No, I give it 3 out of 5, 6 out of 10. I think this is the first movie that you liked more than me that we've done. Yeah. I mean, I haven't watched Climax like 30 times, so I think you've got that one over me, but that doesn't count. That's the pilot episode.
Right.
But I think everything else I've liked more than you.
Yeah.
I mean, even the movies we hated, I gave like a bit fairer scores to.
Yeah, I like this one. This one resonated with me. Honestly, more than the first time I watched it, and that's something. I mean, the first time I watched it, I was a lot younger, and I didn't really care to watch it for its vibe and its artistic value. I was just this is fucking weird, you know.
I forgot that you mentioned last time that you've seen like most of it, like years ago.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you're listening to this episode, I'm sure you've checked it out, audience. But that's Alice. From 1988, directed by Jan Švankavager.
Yes.
What else has he done? Bunch of other stuff I've never heard of. Sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's certainly a fun. I mean, as fun as a like post-Soviet kids movie can be, you know. But it certainly got the right vibes if you're down to watch something that looks as fucking disgusting and scary as this, without it being like intended to be scary. I think it's just scary on accident.
I recommend getting high and just
acting
like you're in the nightmare.
I saw a review that said the opposite, that you shouldn't.
Well, that was a coward.
I mean, he also gave it a 7 out of 10, so maybe this is like your secret account.
Man.
But yeah, check it out. Tell us what you thought in the comments below. Do you have any other things you want to discuss?
I want to spin that wheel and find out what I'm watching next.
Spin that wheel. Okay, let me.
That wheel.
I'll let the audience in on this, because I did have to redo the wheel because we found out last episode that Tyler deleted 20 movies from the wheel. Which movies, I don't know, and I won't be able to find out. So I just started making a new wheel from scratch. So I'm going to spin from that one. And right now, I've got 1,500 movies on there. Not the total, 18 or like 1,897 that are currently on the wheel. But the first 1,500, except for, I did take some liberties of taking out like some stuff that I think just wouldn't fly talking about on a podcast. And I did unfortunately remove any sort of Evangelion and Twin Peaks related stuff. Because to really fucking be able to talk about all that stuff, we'd have to watch all of Evangelion and all of Twin Peaks, which neither of us have the time for. Especially between podcast episodes. So maybe in the future when we do have time, we can do like dedicated episodes for that stuff. Yeah. Special episode for the
out there.
Special episodes for the Evangelion movies. Special episode for just Twin Peaks and all that stuff. I know I even if I did try to do Fire Walk with Me, which is in the list, I will get yelled at by my coworkers. Why? If I just try and watch that before watching Twin Peaks.
Really?
Because that I think just unravels the entire mystery of the series Twin Peaks.
Oh.
Because like Fire Walk with Me is like a prequel, and you're not supposed to watch it before the show. So I'm not going to.
Well, you better get on it then.
Yeah, they told me to watch The Sopranos first, so I'm halfway through that.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I told him I was going to do both of them at the same time, and you're like, do not do both at the same time. Those are two incredibly dense shows.
Yeah.
So I fucking took their advice. The Twin Peaks pilot is good, though. It's a good fucking pilot, let me tell you that much.
For real.
Okay. I've got the wheel loaded up. The new and improved wheel with less movies on it, but not for now. So, let's see what we watch next episode. And we have Suture from number 785 on the wheel. So let's see what that one's all about. And
Suture?
that is S-U-T-U-R-E. From 1993. Is that Denzel? No, it is not. The cover, the banner on it looks like it's Denzel Washington, but...
Wait, what is it?
S-U-T-U-R-E.
Oh, yeah, it is.
And it's on
there
Tubi.
They are.
It's on Tubi. It's on Arrow Video if you're subbed. If you've got an Arrow Video subscription, I guess.
I know what that is.
But it's on Tubi, and you can rent it for $2 on Prime.
Nice.
But yeah, it looks like it's from directed by David Siegel and Scott McGehee. Nothing jumping out from Scott here. What else he's done? Oh, they look like they're a couple of buddy directors. Kind of like a directing pair. But from 1993, a thriller where nothing is black and white. But this banner makes it look like the movie's in black and white. I had 3.5 on Letterboxd. Pretty favorable reviews from at first glance. Brothers Vincent and Clay meet up for the first time after their father's funeral and remark on how similar they look. Unknown to Clay, Vince is actually plotting to kill him with a car bomb and pass the corpse off as his own, planning to start a new life elsewhere with his father's inheritance. But Clay survives the blast, and it has his face, memory, and identity restored in hospital. But are they the right ones? Kind of like a Memento type situation.
Yeah. Because it's in black and white.
Yeah. Got a face.
Just like Memento.
Just like Memento, sometimes. Only sometimes Memento was in black and white.
I haven't seen that in a while.
I watched it back in July before Oppenheimer. It was pretty good. Liked it.
Nice.
Yeah, Joey Pants is in it.
That's a real name?
Joey Pantolino.
Who's
Or,
that?
or Joe Pantolino. He's like he always plays like the same rat character, you know. He was in The Matrix. He's the chief of police in the Bad Boys movies.
Okay.
You definitely know him if you see him. He's always like swearing up a storm, like, I fucking told you not to do this shit, and what do you fucking do? You do it anyway. You know?
Yeah.
He's real
Yeah,
Italian
yeah.
about it.
Hell yeah.
But he's like a little rat. He's also in The Sopranos too, which is awesome.
Suture. Suture. All right, I'm gonna watch it.
We'll watch it next week. We'll discuss it not next week. I keep saying next week, but this is a bi-weekly podcast.
Yes.
Next episode, we'll watch it, and we'll talk about some of the other movies that come out. I don't know what movies yet. I know I'm seeing the Marvels and the Holdovers next, so
Yep,
I'll talk
I'm gonna
about
watch both.
I'll talk about those next time too. Yeah, those are the two immediately on my docket for theater watch-ins, and then we'll talk about what else we watch. Who cares what we do? This is our show. God damn it.
That's damn fucking right.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Okay.
Mom.
And any closing thoughts before I stop recording?
Go see Eraserhead.
Go watch Eraserhead. We won't talk about it because, it'll pop up on the list or pop up in the wheel at some point, maybe. But go watch it anyway. Good fucking movie.
Yeah. Hell yeah. It's my closing thought.
Yeah. All right. And on that note, all right, thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe on all the platforms we're on, all 2 of them. Ask us a question. We haven't gotten a question from a real audience member, only from a fan of the show, friend of the show, Vince. And he didn't even comment like he was supposed to. He just texted me the question. So, yeah, we'll talk about all that stuff next time. And be sure to watch Suture. Again, it's on Amazon Prime and Tubi. So, yeah, go ahead and watch that. And we'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.